Well, as you know, we do a study every year among global CCOs. We call it the Rising CCO, and it's a partnership between Weber Shandwick and Spencer Stewart, where we ask a series of questions of CCOs about how their jobs have changed. This year, the number one thing they're saying that their bosses are looking for is for them to help improve the company's reputation. That's not a surprising finding because we asked those same CCOs whether they had experienced a crisis or a significant issue in the past 2 years, and almost two-thirds, actually it was about three-quarters, said yes, we have experienced a crisis. So reputation management, not surprisingly, is very high on their priority list. Well, you know, we did ask this year the CCOs how they're being measured, and it's interesting. One of the areas that hasn't really changed much is the number one metric is still favorable media coverage. CCOs still say that is, by and large, how I'm being measured in terms of success. And not surprisingly, we continue to see budget dollars flowing into corporate media relations. We continue to invest in that area as a result of it. Some of the more interesting areas along the measurement line is employee engagement, employee satisfaction. CCOs are being asked to be accountable for that area much more than they used to be. That used to be much lower on the list. In the era of social media and with employee ambassadors being such a more important stakeholder group, we're finding that employee relations is just a much more critical part of the communications mix. Well, social media continues to be very important to CCOs. It was important last year in our survey. I think it was the number one area CCOs mentioned that they're really looking at in terms of investing in. This year, what I would say has changed is, if you think about when CCOs first engaged deeply in social media, it really was along the lines of corporate storytelling, deeper engagement with stakeholders, driving brand awareness, much more of an offensive approach. Now, I think what CCOs are finding, given that there's such a strong emphasis on reputation management, crisis management, that the best defense is often a good offense. In other words, it's much more effective for a company to have its social media community that it's built come to its defense when there's an issue than it is for the company to make statements and do that themselves. So they're really finding that their investments in social media are paying off tremendous dividends in the area of reputation management. The demands are increasing on CCOs. I think I would characterize it as a perfect storm, if you will, where they're being asked to do more and more. They're owning social media. They're owning pieces of digital content and storytelling. They've continued to own crisis management, reputation management, employee relations, and all the other aspects. However, it is a budget-constrained and resource-constrained environment. Now, in terms of what does a win look like, I will say there's areas where budgets have been cut in this economy for many of our clients, and CCOs are continuing to see dollars flow to what they're doing, and the companies are continuing to recognize the importance of what they're doing. So even in a budget steady environment or slightly increasing, I think that is a win, and I think a lot of our clients are showing that you know, the value is there for what they do.